Soe Sauva Sahunam Eso Pancha Namukaro Sauva Pavappanasano Mangalanam Cha Sauvesim Padhamam Havai Mangalam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Shivaya Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. Our today's topic is meditation and its types. Friends, one latest research of the holistic scientist is that unknowingly meditation occurs to us. Meditation is not a thing to be done. It is not an activity. Meditation happens. And as the holistic scientist declared, most of the time, in case of many people, this autonomous meditation is negative. When something happens, his entire focus, his reflective consciousness settles down at particular object during anger or when he worries. So that is why this important topic we are going to handle. Our today's guest speaker is Dr. Iti Dayal. She is from Haridwar. Madam is postgraduate in philosophy. She also has acquired her PhD in philosophy. Dr. Iti Dayal has contributed through so many papers, research articles in various national and international seminars. She had been to Holistic Science Research Center during Asian Philosophical Conference and Indian Philosophical Congress session. Welcome, Madam. Dr. Chidayal, we cordially welcome you. Thank you very much. So,
Thank you, sir.
live from Haridwar, here is Dr. Ichidayal to deal with this very profound topic, meditation and its topic. Madam, welcome. Over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Very warm welcome to all the participants of this webinar. Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, clearly.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this privilege to conduct this session on meditation. Meditation, it's a very important topic because this meditation, because this is something which we are constantly doing. We think that we take meditation as some activity and something for what we have to make effort, but actually meditation is something what we are constantly doing. And secondly, meditation is something which defines our destiny. As Dada Bhagwan says that our intentions, our internal intentions are the real actions. And the actions that we are performing physically, these are the karma phalas, outcomes of our intentions, outcome of our karmas. So here meditation becomes very important. And if we go back to our Indian philosophical tradition, we have Yoga Sutra composed by Maharshi Patanjali. So here we get this context of dhyana in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, where Maharshi Patanjali has described 8 steps towards the self realization. Self realization means realization of our pure self and attainment of moksha. So here we find dhyan as the 7th step. Before dhyana, we have yam, niyam. five yamas that are ahimsa, non-violence, sat, truthfulness, aparigraha, non-possession, astay, non-stealing, and brahmacharya, celibacy. So these are the five uh, yamas. Then we have five niyamas. Five niyamas for the external and internal purification. We have this contentment, santosh. Shauch is the external and internal purification. Santosh is the contentment. Tapasya, that is austerity. Swadhyay, self-study. Ishwar pranidhan, devotion to God. So these are the niyamas. And then comes the third step. Third step is the asana. Asana means a comfortable gesture of the body which is conducive for the meditation. So that is asana. Asana is the third step. Then comes the fourth step, that is the pranayama. Pranayama means the regulation of inhalation, retention, and exhalation of breath. So that is the fourth step. And then comes the fifth step, pratyahar. Pratyahar means that is withdrawing the senses from their object. And the most chanchal we see, most restless sense is our tongue. So we say pratyahar, that is the self control of our tongue, and this self control leads to controlling the other. It becomes easier to control the other senses also through pratyahar. So pratyahar, and then we have dharana. Dharana means to have an object of meditation. For example, you may be meditating on moon, or you may be meditating on this sky, blueness of a sky, or you may be meditating on the rising sun. You may be meditating on water, anything. There may be any object of meditation, or it could be a flame on which one may be meditating. So first we have, in dharana, we have to opt an object of meditation, and then we have to uh, make efforts. We have, in dharana, we have to make efforts to bring back our thought process and to focus our thoughts on the object of meditation. That is dharana, to make all other thoughts weaker, and to bring our thoughtfulness to that object of meditation, and focus our thoughts on that object of meditation. So at the stage of dharana, we have to make immense efforts to bring our mental and physical attention to that object of meditation. And then comes dhyana. At the stage of dhyana, we don't have to make much effort to concentrate or to focus on the object of meditation. So that is dhyana, that is equivalent to shukla dhyana, described, explained by Dada Bhagwan. So that is a kind of shukla dhyana, where we bring back where when we sit in a particular asana, and we close our eyes, and spontaneously we achieve the meditative state, where we are completely focused on the object of meditation. So that is dhyana. And this kind of dhyana this kind of dhyana that we call shukla dhyana, this type of dhyana leads us to the stage of samadhi, where the object of the meditation, it disappears. Only our consciousness remains, and at that conscious state we witness the pure self. Because there are two things: one is the pure self, and second is the self, and second is the object of meditation. Object of the meditative state becomes so profound that the object of meditation disappears, and we rest in the we rest with our pure self, and this way we find we attain the stage of this moksha in samadhi. So that is these are the 8 steps described in Yoga Sutra, composed by Maharshi Patanjali. Now we have Dada Bhagwan's science of meditation. So in that, Dada Bhagwan says that we are constantly in the state of meditation, and he describes 4 kind of meditation. So we will see ki first of all, who is meditating. So that is the chitta. So we are the complex the human beings, we exist as a complex being in the sense if we have a physical existence, we exist as a physical beings, and in the physical aspect we have this physical body, as well as we have antahakaran. And second is the conscious one is our soul, that is the self. So soul is the conscious entity in our in as a human being. We have this conscious entity as soul, and unconscious entities, or we can say physical entities, as our physical body and antahakaran. Antahakaran comprises of mind, intellect, ego, and chitta. These 4 things, they comprise our psychic mechanism, or antahakaran. And secondly, we have this physical body, senses, motory senses, and these other Jnanendriya and Karmendriya we have in this physical body. And another conscious entity is our soul. So, chitta is that part of antahakaran which takes the form of anything that mind thinks. Our mind is thinking about some object. Mind is always thinking about some object, and chitta takes its photo. If I say elephant, then chitta takes the form of an elephant, and we have this vision inside us about elephant. So the main work of chitta is to wander and visualize, takes the picture and then retain them. So, in the inner psychic mechanism, besides mind, intellect, and ego, one of the integral parts is chitta. Its function is to wander and visualize, its function is to take photographs and show from time to time. Since long, this chitta is in search of its own real abode. It has been wandering and watching innumerable different objects and sceneries. It tries to find delight from whatever it sees. So it is
Yeah.
taking the picture, it is reflecting it, but chitta is actually in the search of is actually in the search of the real abode, that reflecting the pure consciousness, to get the glimpse of pure consciousness. It is chitta being physical. Chitta is something which is non-self, which is unconscious, which is physical in nature. Actually, we call it sukshma. It is a part of sukshma sharir, not a sthul sharir. So in the sukshma sharir, in the subtle body, chitta, in the subtle body, this chitta, it is reflecting all the material objects. And because of this, we also identify us with all the physical things. like we identify with our ourselves, with our names, with our designation, with our education, with our place, with our relations. These are all physical. So we identify ourselves with the physical things, with the worldly things. But our actual identity is conscious soul. We are the soul. We are the conscious beings, and this physical aspect of our existence, it keeps on changing, but we identify ourselves with these things only. So this is because of the ignorance and because of this chitta, because chitta reflects everything it sees in the this in this physical world. So whether chitta halts and concentrates, the other part of the antakaran remain quiet, and this makes one happy for some time. Later, it gets fed up with it and travels somewhere else. So
Yes.
here when chitta focuses on something for that duration, other parts of the antahkaran. When
Antakaran.
chitta
Ah,
focuses on one thing, the other parts of the antahkaran, like this mind, intellect, and
correct.
ego, they all become quiet for some moment. And after that, chitta gets bored and it moves on to another object. And then it visualizes other object. Then one thing more, that there is a difference between mind, intellect, ego, chitta. So mind, it always need an object to think about it. It needs some subject matter, and one thought after another thought, one emotion after another emotion. So it keeps on wandering. Our mind, intellect is something which make decisions, and then ego is something which which identifies our existence with the physical world, with the physical identities. We identify ourselves with the physical things because of the ego, and because of the ego we give so much importance to our physical existence, that sometimes
Existence.
we think as we are the center of the universe, everything is meant for us. So it is because of ego that we identify ourselves with the non-physical no, sorry, with the physical world, and we forget about our self, conscious self, that we are the soul, we are the atma. We forget it because on the account of ego, and this ego resides in the current sharira. Then we have yes, to purify this chitta is the essence of all religions. To
Okay.
purify chitta, it is we will see this how to purify this chitta, and every religion wants to purify this chitta through Dharmadhyan and Shukladhyana. We will um, come across it in the another slide. So the slide, please. Yeah, meditation.
Yeah, yeah.
Meditation means
I have already
concentrating.
changed. Yeah.
Yes, sir. चित्त को हर एक काम में हाजिर रखना, इसके समान कोई ध्यान नहीं. So meditation means concentrating the mind. Meditation means concentrating the mind for a certain time. The mind always meditates in some form or the other on its own. The mind meditates on anything good or bad. So, again, this meditation is the activity which we are constantly doing. Our mind is always meditating on something or the another thing. Now it depends upon the quality, depending upon the quality of our meditation. We have four kinds of meditation. We have two negative meditations, and then we have two positive meditations. In the two negative meditations, we have Raudradhyan and Artadhyana. And in the positive meditation, we have Dharmadhyana and Shukladhyana. So each has its own different effects. One would always be found engrossed in one of these modes of meditation. So these are four kinds of meditation, and we are always performing, yeah, undergoing one kind of meditation, and we do these four kind of meditations, but at one time we will be doing only one kind of meditation. So the evil meditation or negative meditation, the first is the Raudradhyana. In the Raudradhyan, we are meditating about causing harms to other, and exploiting others. So this takes place when one contemplates causing pain to other living beings, or covets beings, or
Belongs
covets
to others.
what belongs to others.
Hmm.
Uh, this type of dhyana occur when one thinks of seizing even an iota of someone else's happiness for one's own sake. Again, the other Bhagwan has explained about four passions, that is greed, pride, lust, so deceit. So this is the greed, to grab what belongs to someone else,
Right.
to cause harms to other, to exploit other for our own profit, for like this. So because of those four passions, we perform these Raudra Dhyana. For instance, to give less to the customer after taking full prices Raudradhyana, to usurp by changing measure and weights, and to take away what belongs to the customer. Adultery is also this kind of dhyana. So what does the law of nature say? You may do business raising the price 15 to 20%, but to give goods or services less than promised, or with adulteration is offense. A true religious person will never indulge in ethical practices. So these four kind of passions that drive us to get engrossed in the evil meditation to harm others. Getting angry, abusing, quarreling is also evil meditation. Evil meditation binds terrible karmic deeds. The result of this dhyan is hellish life, full of suffering, miserable life onwards. Because the other Bhagwan says we only have the control over our intentions, and uh, when our intentions are
Inner
about
purpose.
exploiting others,
Hmm.
exploiting others, exploiting others, snatching other people's well-being, then then uh,
It is
it
Raudradhyana.
disturbs, yeah, it is rather than, and it disturbs our destiny, and then
Yeah.
we have to take birth in the lower in the lower categories, like we have
Yeah.
to take birth as an animal
Right.
because of such kind of dhyan, evil dhyan
Exactly.
or negative meditation. So another,
Yeah.
then second type of dhyan, we have Artadhyana. The in the Artadhyana is because of our intense ego. The ego that we are the doer, we are the controller, we control the things, we can change, the circumstances. Although the circumstances are driven by the this scientific circumstantial evidences, but we think that we are the doer, we can control it, we can change it. So when out of ego we we think ourselves as a doer and a very important person, then it leads to worries. It leads
Yeah.
to worries, stress, burnout, depression, and such things. So in this kind of dhyana, in the art dhyana, we cause harm to ourselves because of our ego. So here, the contemplation which causes suffering to one's own self is self-inflicting meditation. He who does not harm any living creature outside but worries about himself or the future is lost in self-inflicting meditation, less harmful as compared to evil meditation, for it does not affect others. So, in the negative meditation, it is the second type of meditation after this Raudradhyana. Artadhyana is second kind of negative meditation, but its intensity is also lower than the first one because it is not inflicting harms to other; it is inflicting harms to self. So, for instance, worrying about daughter's marriage, even while she's just 7 years old, is self inflicting meditation. On arrival of some unpleasant guest, I wish they leave sooner. This thinking too is a self inflicting meditation.
Oh.
Inner burning within, mainly due to illusion that one himself is the doer. This assumption of doership strengthens ego, and when things are out of control, one indulges in worrying. So, like this, worrying about the daughter's marriage or education of the children, or we find something unpleasant, like some guest comes to our home, or we face certain loss in our lives, and we feel so much unpleasant, and we become worried or stressful about our losses. Then this is a kind of dhyana dhyana, and it also a kind of getting so much obsessed with ourselves. So worrying is egoism, so called assumed powers that don't really belong to you brings worries. Why doesn't a child worry? Because a child does not worry because he knows that he does not govern the world, and he does not know who governs it. So he is unconcerned.
That's right.
So children, they don't worry because they know that they are not governing the world. Their ego is not that developed or not that matured. So they don't worry. So Nursing Mehta says to believe that I am the doer is sheer ignorance. It is just like a dog walking under a cart believing that he is pulling the cart. So in the picture here, it is shown that dog is only standing, walking under the cart, but he is believing that he is running that cart. The autonomous scheme of operation of the world is is only known to the enlightened yogis. Likewise, we cannot decide our place of birth. We cannot decide who could be our parents. We cannot
Very
decide
good.
even our profession. We cannot decide our place of residence. We cannot decide our timing of birth and death. So these are the main things we cannot decide, but still we have illusion that these things could be decided by us. But only enlightened yogis know that there is some higher power that is operating this world. There is some higher power who is keeping the higher power, or what we call scientific circumstantial evidence, that is keeping the record. That is like a software which is recording everything, and then it is materializing those records and bringing creating such situations that certain things, certain events are happening. But we think that we are the doer, we are very important. Without us, nothing could be done, and we give so much importance to our existence. So he says that Nursing Mehta says that to think that I am the doer is the sheer ignorance. Then Lord Mahavir also recommended not to worry. If continues for long, it leads to the loss of reason. The karmic result of this type of dhyan is triyanch gati, that is taking birth as birds or animals.
Animals.
In the future we suffer as we take birth in the lower in the animal kingdom, taking birth in the animal kingdom, in the lower planes of consciousness. We have to take birth but as a result of Artadhyana, in this birth also we also suffer. We not only suffer from stress and burnouts and depression, but also we get addicted to certain substances, toxic intoxicating substances. So both ways we harm. In this birth also we harm ourselves because of the this Raudra and Artadhyan, and in the next birth also we have to suffer. So Dada Bhagwan says that we have to identify first. We have to identify ki what type of meditation we are doing, and after identifying that yes, this time we are doing negative meditation, we need to avoid the negative meditation. Now we come to the positive meditation. So two kinds of negative meditations we have discussed. Now we have another two kind of meditations. One is the dharma dhyan. Dharma dhyan, the state of auspicious meditation that we call dharma dhyan, no worry anytime, and inner conflicts have calmed down. Auspicious meditation or dharma dhyan means neither be in Raudradhyan nor in the Artadhyan, means neither inflicting harms to other and neither inflicting harms to oneself. So what we are doing in this state of dharma dhyan, we are always thinking about that whether my thoughts, my actions, my speech, are they enhancing the well-beings of the other. So always we are thinking about the well-beings of the other, because when we think about the well-beings of the other, wellness will come automatically to us. So when we think about good, when we do, when we speak good things about others, then automatically we get the good things back. So this kind of dharma dhyana, that is always contemplating doing good for others. So qualities of auspicious meditation is fearlessness, patience, worry free, never shifting opinions. So very few people in this time of dhyan, during this time of Kali Yuga, in this time of Kali Yuga, very very few people can practice this kind of dhyana. And the other thing is that we took birth as a human beings. We are living a human life. We took birth as human beings because in our previous birth we have done this dharma dhyana. Hence we are born as a human being. So it is our meditation of our previous birth. We did this kind of meditation in our previous birth. Hence in the present birth we took birth as a human life. So the celestial hurt is the karmic result of auspicious meditation, and if it is mixed with self-inflicting meditation, the result is human life. Means when we are completely engrossed, when we are completely meditating this dharma dhyana, then we take birth as a celestial being. Celestial beings like some angels or like this devtas. we take birth like this. But when our dharma dhyan, when our dharma dhyan get mixed with the artha dhyan, then we take birth as human beings. Now we see how our meditation or our intentions bring different results to to the same kind of action. For example, a person who donated 50,000 rupees, people would say that what a good man he is. But what is going in his mind? How this rich man is meditating? The rich man is meditating that he was pressurized to do that charity, and he would not have done this donation if he was not pressurized. So this is a kind of evil meditation. So now he is
Oh,
preparing himself for the degradation. On the other
yeah.
side, if a man, he's not donating any money, he's not doing any charity, but he is doing this dharma dhyana, that if he had money he would have used it for good work, then this is a kind of dharma dhyana, and this person made upward progress without doing any charity. So the
Charity.
yes, the first person is
This
doing
is
charity. Still, because of his evil meditation, that charity will bring his degradation.
very
And
good.
the another person who is not doing any charity, but he's doing good meditation, auspicious meditation, dharma dhyan, is thinking about the well-being of others, then it will bring good results to that person. Hence Dada Bhagwan says intentions are more important, and that's why meditation is very important, because the same action can bring different results depending what we are meditating during performing our actions. Then we have the fourth type of dhyana, Shukla dhyana. This is the second kind of positive dhyana. The Shukla dhyana is a very is a higher form of dhyana, and this Shukla dhyana, it leads us to the state of moksha, liberation. So Shukla Dhyana comprises of four stages. So this Shukla Dhyana was discussed by Maharshi Patanjali in his Yoga Sutra. So that Dharana Dhyan Samadhi. So that dhyan can be compared with this Shukla Dhyana. So and in this Shukla Dhyana we have four stages. Four stages. First stage is the vague and indistinct experience of pure self, is the first stage. So in the first stage, we have a very feeble experience of our soul. Feeble experience of our soul, that we have this experience that apart from our physical existence, there is some conscious being inside me. Then, second, in the second stage of this dhyan, there is a distinct experience of the pure self, which means the pure self is completely known or realized. So, this can be equated to samadhi. This is the samadhi stage where we experience that, where we realize our pure self, that there is a soul. Means that behind our sthul sharir, that is physical body, then after physical body we have subtle body, sukshma sharir, then third body, that is our current sharir. So behind these three sheets we have soul. So when we realize this existence of soul behind these three sheets, then that is the second stage of Shukla Dhyana. Then Shukla Dhyana of the first stage is the state of omniscient self, fully enlightened being. Fully omniscient means in the third stage, we have all the knowledge. Um, we attain the state of omniscient, having knowledge about the scheme processes of this existence. So we become fully enlightened, a fully knowledgeable being. So the ultimate liberation. And at the fourth stage, we get ultimately liberated. Thus, the ultimate fruit of the Shukla Dhyana is liberation and Godhood state. That is, at the fourth state, you will get an exit from the endless cycle of life and birth. So these are the four stages of Shukla Dhyana. Then we have Apadhyana. Apadhyana, this is a negative meditation cropping up in the present era where there is dichotomy in mind, speech, and action. For example, in ritual or during prayer. Suppose we are chanting mantras from our tongue. Okay, in the mind, yeah, in the and regarding actions, we are repeatedly watching on the clock. We are watching the clock. What time it's, and then in the mind. Something else is going on that I will get late or it will happen, that will happen. So something else is going on in mind. Through speech we are chanting mantra. In actions our eyes are looking at the clock, we are not focusing, means our mind, speech, action, all these three things are in different directions. So that is apadhyana. So the most important thing is while doing anything, what meditation is taking place, one has to keep a watch on it and rectify. So the other Bhagwan says, be vigilant. If what kind of meditation is going on inside us, what kind of meditation we are doing. So keep watch on it and then rectify it. So now, next time when we, after this session, whenever we will be thinking about something, we will be in the position first to recognize what kind of meditation is going on inside us. So we can now identify what kind of meditation is going inside us, whether it is Raudradhyan or it is Artadhyana or it is Dharmadhyana or it is Shukladhyana. So for Shukladhyana, we have to certainly make efforts. But for another three kind of dhyana, they we keep on doing meditation, we keep on thinking about such things. So now we are in the position to identify what kind of meditation is going on, and then we after recognizing it, now we are in the position to recognize it and rectify it, to bring it on the path of shukl, that is to bring our meditation from negative meditation to auspicious meditation to dharma dhyan. So more we engage in dharma dhyan, more good birth we can have in our next life. Our next life can be good, and our present life could be good, and as well as it will bring well-being, it will add quality to the life of other people also. Then the purpose and status of mind. The basis of one's life after death is based on karmic accruals taken place on the type of one's meditation from time to time. So, what was the quality of our meditation? What was the subject matter of our meditation? What kind of meditation we performed? It will decide our life after death. Your non-self part means our physical part, that is our physical body, plus our antahakaran mind, intellect, chitta, ego. They passes through various states of meditation, but if the soul becomes engrossed in it, then it is signed. So the soul becomes engrossed in it. It means your soul is witness about it. Your soul is witnessing what kind of meditation is going on. If the soul becomes the witness, and then if you don't accept it and just watch what happens, then you are free as a pure soul. So if your soul becomes active and it witness what's going on in the antahkaran, what kind of meditation is going on in the antahkaran, then you can discriminate your soul and the your physical existence and your non-physical existence. You can discriminate between those, if our soul also get active in this meditation as a witness. So based on the purpose and state of mind, two people doing the similar deed might get different results. So
Different result.
a
Yeah.
person, so a person may be performing similar kind of deeds, but the result will be dependent upon what kind of meditation is going on when you were performing that particular action. Then self-enlightening dictums of Dada Bhagwan. Dada Bhagwan says that waiting is a great cause of self-afflicting meditation. It's a kind of Raudradhyana, because during waiting we become very impatient and we lose our spiritual energy. So waiting
Artadhyana
desperately
meditation.
is a great cause of self-inflicting meditation, bindings for one's downfall. People become impatient if electricity gets disrupted, even for half an hour, even when we get stuck in the jam, in the traffic jam, when we get stuck, we
Yeah,
lose spiritual burning of years in subjecting to such ill meditation. So one must be adjusting, observe patience always. So when we are stuck in the this jam, or electricity gets disrupted, or even our internet connectivity gets disrupted, then we have to be vigilant that we must not meditate in the negative sense. We must not suffer from this Raudradhyan, or this
Artadhyana.
Artadhyana. So we have to be vigilant about what's going on inside, although it is causing some physical discomfort to us. But we should not lose our spiritual energy. We should not lose our good meditative state. So have patience, Dada Bhagwan says. Then where there is meditation, there is no egoism, and vice versa. Where there is meditation, there is no egoism. When there is no meditation, there will be egoism. Then our ego will become very dominant, and then we suffer from Raudradhyan and Artadhyan. The grace of an enlightened one enables one remain meditative during
In
difficulties.
all difficulties.
Meditative. So when we become enlightened, then we can rise to practicing Shukladhyana. Then all religions aim in evolving man in realizing meditative state by disengaging their reflective consciousness from worldly affairs. Means not to to avoid identifying oneself with the worldly affairs, because every time when we have to give our introduction, and when we want to know who we are, then we always somewhere we always identify ourselves with the worldly affairs, which keeps on changing. This birth In this birth, we I am the mother of this person, I am the sister of this person, I am the daughter of this person. In the next birth, these relations will change. So this is something that is always changing, but there is something inside us which is immortal, which has been there before our birth, after our death. It will always remain there, and that is the soul. So all religions aim to make the person disengaged from being identified with the worldly affairs, rather to do this Shukla Dhyana and this Dharma Dhyana and Shukla Dhyana, to know the real self identity, that we are the soul, not the physical bodies. Hence, the supporting mean of worshipping is the outer images, or concentrating on inner spiritual chakras, uh, even chakras, dynamic chakras within man. It is helping man in increasing man's meditative potentials in the search of supreme God, and thus weakening man's worldly clinging. So we pray to the deities, we pray their idols, we pray sacred rivers, we pray trees. Okay, so it's again a kind of this dharma dhyana. when we are praying to stones, we are praying to rivers, we are praying to even celestial bodies, we are praying to other planets, we are praying to our planets. So all kind of religions, they say, they speak of doing some austerities, doing some altruistic things for the well-being of the others, so we don't become self-obsessed with our physical existence. So all religions, they teach us through their religious practices how to strengthen our dharma dhyana, means to do something for the well-beings of the other. And by doing it again and again, we become habitual of this dharma dhyana. If I am doing a job, what is the purpose behind this job? If I think that it is to rule over the people, or to rule over the people, then it becomes a kind of Raudradhyan. If I say that no, to get good, to earn lots of money, to enjoy the luxuries, then it becomes this Artadhyana. But when we think that we are doing this job to bring a difference in the lives of other, to add quality to the life of others, if being a teacher, if I think that yes, I can enhance the quality of my students, their quality of thinking, their quality of actions can be improved by me, then it is a kind of dharma dhyana. Okay, what good differences we can create in the lives of others. So when one feels unhappy, it is Artadhyana, self-inflicting meditation. If one is contemplating doing harms on others, it's a Raudradhyana. If one contemplates giving happiness to others and remains self-contented despite limited means, is called Dharma Dhyana. To the extent one is relieved from the passions, these are the four passions: anger, pride, deceit, greed, there is corresponding increase in meditative action. More we more we recede more we recede from these four passions, more we can practice this dharma dhyana and shukla dhyana. So total freedom from these passions mean perfect meditation, that is shukla dhyana, that leads us to liberation. When we get freedom from these passions: anger, pride, deceit, greed. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ithi Dayal, for very influential discussion on this amazing topic. And our purpose is to create that awareness so that one should get struck that I am in Artadhyana or Raudradhyan. Then only he can switch off from that position. And we saw that the result of this negative meditations are so horrible. Whatever status one might have been, rich, poor, of any religion, one thing is clear, that the next birth, how I should be in my next birth, that is completely in my control. We have Lala Bhai Patel with us. Let me invite him for concluding remarks. Welcome, sir. Lala, sir, please unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yes, yes, you are
Yes, sir.
audible. Please.
Namaste. Namaste, Iti. So nice. Like the last Sunday
Yeah,
session,
previous Hindi session.
right? And this very important topic, and generally not say this new concept is unknown to large number of people, right? So there are two issues, that the meditation is automatic. Sometimes what happens, no? We think that do meditation, everybody says, but we are unable to see it and do it. So Dada Bhagwan says, you are always meditating. And meditation, if you go to dictionary meaning, the original meaning doesn't convey that you see it and do that. Correct, no? I will meditate on it. It is somewhat near contemplation kind of thing, right? Or a deep thinking. So, and this way one can observe what kind of meditation he is in, okay, what kind of contemplation going on. And that way, uh, see, these two things, Artadhyana, see, making our own self unhappy, right? When does this happen? Dada explains that when you think that you can do so many things, you are the only factor, right? So actually, in anything to be successful, you are one of the principal factors. But there are many factors, right? And certain factors are beyond your control. What is in your control is your decision and the efforts, right? And then there are many other, okay. So knowing unaware of the exact reasons behind the any action to be successful, we simply blame ourselves. Okay, feeling guilty that why this did not happen. Once thing is over, okay, but because of this kind of limited knowledge, right? So improving if you ask me, the remedy for Artadhyana, first I would like say nowadays people have more of Artadhyana rather than Raudradhyan because they are so busy with their own problems. So so if you even consider that, then Shukladhyana, let us forget. Okay. But at least Dharmadhyana, and you very well explained that, say, wherever you are, you can have a Dharmadhyana. Whatever role you have, everybody has one or the other role, definitely. When you start thinking about helping others, that is a Dharmadhyana. Wherever you are, whatever small thing you have in charge, right? If you are a mother, if you train your child in a better manner, that itself is a Dharmadhyana, right? So many opportunities we lose of Dharmadhyana. Unfortunately, with the impact of Western culture, we call it narcissism, a kind of narcissism is taking place. People think about themselves only. And it is described as survival instinct. People think about that just, but that is very low level of living, right? And doesn't benefit much. So thinking about others wherever you are, what you can do to ameliorate their miseries, reduce their miseries, or at least don't increase their miseries. Now, many times I think why we are feeling unhappy. So I've seen that, say, when you are in charge of something, doing something, and if you don't do it properly, then in the process, large number of people say curse you. Let us say in the sense, suppose you are a bus driver and you don't run your bus on time. So many people, okay, they feel a lack of peace and all those things nature will send you, right? So if you are feeling a loss of peace, just think over what the way of how you are performing your given duty given by the nature, right? Whatever, sometimes you'll find a solution. Ramakrishna Paramhans, I I think he has made a very big invention, Chandrakantji.
Yes, sir.
That whatever result you get from doing meditation, okay, in Himalayas, the same result you can get by simply serving others.
How lovely.
Wherever you are, in whatever circumstances, the same result, even sometimes you get it even better result. This is my experience also. Wherever you are. And it doesn't cost money, remember. It doesn't cost money.
Right, right, right.
Right. So there is one proverb, I'll conclude with that. It is called in Gujarati and somewhere some other language also, Rajeshri, Tapesri, Rajeshri. Tapesri becomes Rajeshri. Okay. That means if you are doing sadhana, due to that punya, you get a position of authority.
Mm.
You may become minister or kings or whatever. Nowadays, ministers are kings, you can say. And second
Right.
verse follows, Rajeshri Narkesri. If you don't, or if you abuse your authority, you go to hell. Okay.
My God.
So the way to hell goes through the position of authority. If you don't use it properly or abuse it. So wherever, whatever position of authority you have, then if you do it, it earns you, apart from salary, it earns you a lot of punya karmas. And there are chances everywhere. Suppose you are a teacher, you teach a poor child, correct? And you teach well, right? That itself, because see, nobody is observing you. You are in the classroom. But if you do it well, definitely that child will bless you continuously. Whatever, wherever, say all of us, we are 5, 6 people today, but wherever you are, there is a teacher behind you. So whatever good things you do, the teacher also gets some punya, right? So wherever, so we can improve our level of peace through re-examining, revisiting the duties we are performing, the way the duties we are performing. Very small, small things matter. Very small, small things, I'll tell you. Right, I tell you one thing, Chandra Gandhi, I joined
Yes,
state
sir.
a rural development officer. Right. My job
Right.
was to finance the farmers, especially poor and middle class farmers.
Okay.
Okay, I get a salary. Right. Then because I was studying Swami Vivekananda in those days, where I got, he says one thing, all of you may have read it. A person having educated at the expense of poor countrymen, if he doesn't serve them after being educated, okay, he is a traitor. वो देशद्रोही है.
Oh,
This was this statement. It made me really so frightened kind of thing. So are we committing such a grave crime? Okay. Because see, what your father does do? Can my father build a college? Can my father pay salaries of professors? No. It is all countries people, countries doing, and it is represented by countries. And if when you are finishing your education, if you do nothing for the subjects, that means to the people you are coming into contact. So what I started whenever a farmer comes, I will give him a chair. Okay. They say, sir, nobody gives chairs to poor people when they go to the office.
my God. See.
See? So a very simple gesture, and they were so
Ah,
happy. They blessed me a lot.
right,
Secondly, I
right,
said,
right.
what is the rate of interest this fellow is eligible? Because there were schemes that if a poor people come, you can lend him at very low rate of interest, 4%.
Right.
Now nobody does that. If I do that, I am doing within the rules, legitimate benefits. If you do it, they are very happy. They are very small, small expectations. Right? All these things, wherever we are, if you do, it is a kind of Dharmadhyana.
Yeah. So nice. So nice.
And reducing Artadhyana of others. Okay. If you do something which reduces Artadhyana of others, reduce their worries, that also is a Dharmadhyana for you. Right? So it is a wonderful concept and very useful in a day-to-day life. Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Dr. Dayal. Right. So nice you have contributed. Thank you, Shailaben, for joining.
Jai
Right.
Sachidanand Lalabai. You
Ah.
said
Jai
you
Sachidanand.
walked with Vivekanand Swami?
I studied him.
Wow. That's
I
That's
studied
amazing.
him when I was just
Yeah.
out of the college. Right.
Wow. That's
And he was
wonderful.
so helping, I tell you, no doubt. And
Here in the Western world, there he studied very, very intently.
right.
And a lot of meditators, yoginis, yoga meditators, they benefit from his teachings.
But yoga
So,
in life
yeah.
and living.
Yes.
Okay, meditative living, there is the concept given by Ramakrishna Paramahansa and later well explained in detail by Dada Bhagwan. Right?
Mhm.
That the way of living, that itself is a kind of meditation. And
Yes.
you can do so many things, so many improvements. You
You
can
know,
do.
Ramakrishna Paramhans,
Hmm.
when I was 12,
Hmm.
we came to America with my father.
Ah.
And that was the only place he ever took me. He took me on Venice Beach, and we did the Vargodo through Ramakrishna Paramhansa's
Hmm.
organization. It's very large here.
Right.
And so I remember when I was 12 years old, my father took me on the beach
How
with
fortunate.
the chariots and everything in California. It was quite
Ah.
something. It's a small world. Jai
Okay,
Sachidanand
thank you.
Lalabai. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Shalamin. Thank you
And thank
very
you,
much for
Dr.
joining.
Dayal,
Lala sir, thanks
for
for your
wonderful
concluding remarks.
presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Great.
really very influential.
Chandrakantji, so
And
nice.
we have this recording, we will share in the group also. You can
Please.
share this recording with your friends. Thank
YouTube.
you very much, Dr. Dayal. Thank you, Lala sir.
Thank
Have a
you.
very good time. Our next
Right.
session will be on holistic blissful prayer. So please don't miss, that is antidote. It is in connection with this Artadhyana and Raudradhyan. How to overcome these dhyans, we will see in the next session. 3 mantra and prayer to pure soul to be taken
Chandrakantji,
by
Mr. Mukund Soni has sent one question.
Acha, let me check
Mukund
it.
bhai, you are online.
जय सच्चिदानंद
चित्त
हाँ,
को
मुकुल
हर एक
साहब,
काम में
बोलिए।
हाजिर रखना, इसके समान कोई ध्यान नहीं. That is what you want to us to explain?
Perhaps I don't understand it well, so if you can kindly be helpful to understand, because perhaps I don't understand what is chitta, so I could not
Okay,
understand.
Chitta is a, say, we can say, you see so many things, it shows you so many things. When you think, thought doesn't show you the pictures, right? It is a kind of visualization, what the part of the mind, part of the soul, within your body, which visualizes things. It's the power of soul only, right? Say, power of soul only, that if you talk of America, you see America immediately, right?
Yes.
If you have visited, again, if you have not visited anything, you cannot visualize. Okay, right. And that chitta, it helps everybody. It is a once pure, fully purified. All religions aim at purifying the chitta, right?
Yes.
It's called, in English, they call it reflective consciousness, because mind is different and chitta is different. Right?
Okay.
Chitta means which is very, very powerful, which visualizes the things. Okay. And
Okay.
that if you keep it present in your work, that is a kind of meditation. It's a focus. It's a kind of concentration. And chitta can be at one place, no, at a time.
Yes.
It focus is on one place. It is not at other places.
Right.
And if not at other places, there is no question of Artadhyana.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that is
सोनी जी, जैसे कि आपका भोजन हो गया कि बाकी है अभी?
ओ क्षमा कीजिए आप लोग प्लीज
नहीं, मेरा प्रश्न है आपसे, आपका भोजन हो गया है?
हो गया है।
हाँ, तो जब अपना भोजन करते समय यदि आपका ध्यान भटकता है कहीं और, तो वो फिर आपका चित्त है वो भटक रहा है, ठीक है ना?
हाँ,
बस
तो भोजन करते
हाँ
समय दादाजी का ये था कि आप भोजन करते समय भोजन के साथ ही लगे रहिए, कुछ
बस
बोलना नहीं है ऑफिस में, या कल मुझे ये करना है, कुछ प्लान नहीं करना है, भोजन के समय भोजन ही करना है, ठीक है?
जस्ट
गॉड।
ऐसे
हाँ
just
जी।
कोई
observe
भी काम करें आप तो उसी में चित्त
just
लगाना
just observe birds and animals how they are eating,
है। देखिए आप,
how we are eating. Okay, they are eating in presence of chitta, so they do not need that much food as we require, and
राइट,
no minerals and all those things, no.
यस।
Chitta is so very powerful and it helps a lot. That is why he says that at least take care of yourself by, in modern language, you can say presence of mind. Okay,
Yes.
राइट, प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड।
right. So that helps a lot everywhere. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू मुकुंद सोनी जी, सवाल पूछने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you
डॉक्टर
very
जय,
much. Jai
थैंक्स अ
Satchidanand.
लॉट। प्लीज कम बैक अगेन फॉर द नेक्स्ट सेशन। जय